Yo, welcome back to Camerumours, the series where I spread the latest industry rumors. Let's go. Starting off with the C70, which was released yesterday. Boy, did we get a good camera with that announcement. We have got ourselves a Canon cinema line camera with an RF mount. They did announce adapters for EF, for those of you that are wondering. But the RF mount cinema line camera is here. Now, this comes in a package that's not that much bigger than the Blackmagic that I'm shooting on right now. And whilst it is a Canon C-line camera, it boasts a lot of the features of that, but it does have a few compromises as well. One of those compromises is that it has the mini XLR jacks rather than the full size. And with such a small package, get your mind out the gutter, please. With such a small package, it does mean that you're going to have to compromise on some things. One thing they haven't compromised on, however, is the ND filter that you get inside the C-line cameras. What they've done here is they've actually re-engineered it so it's a bit smaller, so it actually fits in the form factor that they've announced for the C70. Me personally, I think this is a great camera for those small shooters, solo productions. You know, it's not for the bigger productions unless you're going to use it as maybe a B or C cam. But I love this form factor. I'm a big fan of mirrorless DSLR video cameras, so I'm really excited to see how this gets taken on in the industry. Now, there are plenty of videos covering the announcement yesterday, so go on, hit up YouTube and search those. Not yet. Watch my video first, then watch that. Speaking of watching my video, I know that most of you who watch these videos aren't subscribed. So if you do like this content, then please consider subscribing. It really helps the channel. I release these Camerumours videos weekly. They do cover rumors as well as actual news. I release tutorials as well as unboxings and gear reviews as well. So 2 videos a week. Get subscribed, like the bell. Back to the video. Okay, moving on to the Sony A7IV. This is something I believe would be released this year, but it seems that COVID has had the effect that we thought it would. This has now been pushed back to probably Q3 2021. That's quite a delay for something we've been waiting for already, although as we know with Sony cameras, the delay is often worth the wait. Just look at the A7S III, what a treat. So it looks like the Sony A7IV is going to have a 30 megapixel sensor, there or thereabouts. It's going to have the same 5-axis stabilization and steady shot that we've got in the Sony A7S III. You're also going to be getting 4K 60. However, with the time that's going to take to release this camera, I think you might actually get 4K 120. Don't hold me to it. If you do, you'll get it at less of a bit rate than the A7S III, because otherwise, what's the point in getting the A7S III, apart from the low light, but I digress. Anyway, A7IV, that's scheduled to be announced / released Q3 next year. Let's hope that's right, because I'm looking forward to that camera as an upgrade from the A7C, which is an upgrade for the M50 that I haven't made yet. Now, whilst there are no rumors on the actual LCD screen, that's not to say that we're not expecting it to have the flip LCD that every other camera from Sony has released with this year. So if they don't do that, stupid them, but I'm going to hold them to it. I'm going to make the thing now. It's definitely going to have that. Trust me. Okay, moving on. When the R5 and the R6 were announced, there were rumors that there was going to be an R1, or what I determined would be an R1, because they follow the same naming convention that we're used to with Canon. Overheating issues aside, Canon really do seem to want to step up their mirrorless game, so we should be expecting the R1 at some point next year, likely in H2. Now, this is going to be similar in specs to, in my opinion, the R5, because I'm not quite sure what you can go for from there. I think you'll probably have larger battery, larger form factor. It will be fully weather sealed. It will be kind of like what the 1DX was to the 5D in the same respects, because the R5 is like the 5D and the 1DX to the 5. You get where I'm going with this, but it's going to be like the bigger brother to the R5. Now, it's rumored we're going to get around about 50 megapixels. I imagine the video specs will stay the same, because it doesn't seem like Canon can actually achieve the specs in what they've got. So by the time the development comes around, those specs will likely be the same. This camera is obviously aimed at the highest end professional shooters, such as sports, wildlife photographers, but there is very minimal information about this at the moment. So stay tuned to this. Like I said, subscribe if you're up for these rumors, because I'll no doubt be covering this over the next few months. Now, whilst Canon are working on upping their mirrorless game, Sony are already pretty much ahead to beat them once again. It looks like Sony are going to be coming out with an A9X. Now, it could be an A9 III, it could be an A9S, but it's likely going to be called the A9X. It's no secret that Sony have been the best in the business when it comes to the mirrorless game for a while. Just look at their history with cameras like the A7 III, which was revolutionary, and you can figure that one out. And it's not going to stop here, because what they're going to do is they're going to take all of their pro specs from their most pro line, the A9, and they're going to give it some. It's rumored to have a 50 megapixel sensor, which is immense. File size is going to be huge. As you know, Sony file sizes are quite large. It's also rumored to be doing 8K 30, which is pretty impressive. It's going to have that LCD with the new menu system from the A7S III. That is all but confirmed. And it's expected to come in Q1 2021, which is incredible. Like, I can't believe that we're going to be seeing something that soon. Now, we know how to take price rumors. It's around about $5,500 US. And judging from the A7S III, which was massively overpriced in the rumors, and the Canon R6, which was massively underpriced in the rumors, we know to take it with a bit of a grain of salt, but the $5,500 does sound pretty reasonable for something like an A9X. Sony really aren't letting up this year with their camera releases, and I don't think they're going to stop next year either. We've had absolutely tons of camera releases this year, whether it's the Ursa Mini 12K, whether it's all of the Canon cinema line cameras, whether it's the R5 and the R6, the A7S III, the ZV-1, the A7C, the list does go on. We've had a real good year for camera releases despite everything else that's been going on, which has been kind of nice. It's been nice to see all that activity amongst the community, everyone discussing the different options, the good, the bad, the ugly, Canon overheating, and I don't imagine it's going to stop there for Sony. That is it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, get subscribed, light the bell to stay up to date for whenever I release a new video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.